I wanted to know what was going on in the trenches when our student athletes were hitting the ground, when they were hitting each other, what type of forces, what was going on with them from a force standpoint. Being able to see any rotational blows from the right or left side, the front or back, was important.
And then, right as soon as we got out of the box, we got to see the impacts that are natural in practices and games. And for somebody that doesn't know a lot, if I were to tell you some stats about it, you might be shocked about the number of impacts and how high of impacts that people are sustaining in practices and games. What's great about this actual device and the software is that we can use this as a coaching tool. In fact, we have used it on some players that we've noticed that their impact on their head is in a certain area, and it's too low, meaning they're dropping their head at contact, and we can adjust that and fix that after we see it over a period of time. It's an extra tool in my toolbox, but going forward for football and other sports, really the only way you can prevent concussions is to reduce exposure, which means limit activity and limit contact in that activity.
I mean, honestly, to actually see it, put your hands on it and watch it work, it's very simple. It seems like a really simple, easy system to use. It's not this high-tech, gadgets and software programming that you need to be, really into the technology and really into all that stuff to actually put it to practical use. So for me, it's not like I'm on computers or dealing with the high-tech stuff all the time. To put it in my hands and have me use it on the field, I could really see being able to do that in a very short period of time with very little practice and feeling very confident that I'm not making mistakes. It's actually working for me the way it's designed to work. I mean, it's clean and easy to read. As an athletic trainer here at Middletown, we've been lucky. We've been ahead of the game. We've been leading the way when it comes to concussion management. So when you're dealing with concussion management, you're talking about after the fact. The injury's already occurred, and now you're dealing with managing the injury, getting them back. As an athletic trainer, the other focus that you like to pay attention to is the preventative side of it. Right now, the only preventative measures are through education and hoping that you do things like strength training and you focus on proper techniques when it comes to hitting. This is a tool that I think, if even now, can be used as preventative measures. It's giving you data that you could really pay attention to, whether it be a hit count or whether it be a handful of hits that are notable or close to the threshold that you're setting. I mean, you're able to maybe prevent something that may happen in a game, and so to me, it's that it could be absolutely close as you're going to get to a preventative tool as what we can get today.
So every week we get a list of the people who have the most amount of top of the head impacts. And so we can go back to our head coaches and say, hey, this player is showing that he or she is leading with the top of their head consistently. And that coach will go back to that player and help them to really change their mechanics so they're not putting themselves at risk of getting an injury that's going to harm them in the future. And so that's why this technology really works well, because if someone were to start displaying concussion symptoms or complaining of headaches or any of those symptoms, we're able to actually go back and see all the hits that normal people can't see. This is just one small tool in our very large tool belt of what we need to accurately diagnose these things.